I want to talk about one of the biggest secrets. And I hate using that word, I'll be honest. It's like secrets, it sounds so markety, but like this changed my life more than anything else. And by the way, on my exercise bike here, so please forgive the breath. I want to talk about one of the biggest secrets to business growth. This changed my life when I really started embodying it and practicing it. It was something I discovered in a coaching container maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And for years, I was like, that sounds like a really nice concept. And I actually taught it to my clients from this intellectual place. I was like, oh, this is how you grow your business. You know, when you actually teach something you haven't quite lived yet, it's very conceptual, it's very up here. But I live this shit. In my life today, I have never embodied this more fully, and it has completely changed my life. It is what's allowed me to grow and scale my business with a degree of ease and effortlessness. Not that it's easy, but the fact that the business itself unfolds in this beautiful, expansive way where I'm not pushing so much as calibrating to a new level of internal expansion, and the business itself unfolds and manifests as growth as a result of that. So this concept is called be, do, have. Be, do, have. And this is a sequence of events that creates change in life, in business, in any area of your life. And if you're here, you're listening to this, it's probably because on some level you have a desire to grow your business. Maybe you're at 10K a month right now. You want to be at 50K a month. Maybe you're at 50K. You want to be at 250K. Maybe you're at 250K. You want to be at 1 million. Whatever that shift is, there's point A, there's point B, and then there's something in the middle, right? And be, do, have basically describes the process to create that change. Be, do, have. A sequence of events. All change starts from the inside out. And one of the biggest things that trips entrepreneurs up is we wait for the outside to change before we start being the thing on the inside that's going to create the change that we want on the outside. For example, I talk to entrepreneurs almost every week who are, let's say they're at 10K a month and they want to make 50K a month. And I'm like, cool, let's do this. Here's the investment. I'd love to help you. And the first response might be, well, I'm only making 10K a month. It seems kind of crazy to invest like 50K into hiring a mentor to help me grow. And my response is, well, if you're looking at your reality through the lens of your current identity, being the 10K a month entrepreneur, of course. But if you keep making decisions from the 10K self, you'll never create the 50K months. And this is how most entrepreneurs and most people operate in the world. In other words, it's have, do, be. Not be, do, have. First, we're waiting to have the thing that we want in order to start making decisions, doing the actions that are associated with that expanded external reality. So it's the entrepreneur that's waiting to make 50K a month before they start making 50K a month decisions. And they wonder why month after month after month, they experience the same reality. So about 18 months ago, I made the decision to blow up a version of my business. At that point, it was very profitable on paper. We were doing 50 to 100K a month on average. And I was out in Napa one week with a mentor of mine, and he looked me in the eyes and he said, Jason, if you had $5 million in the bank, is this the business you'd be running? Are these the clients that you'd be serving? One of those questions that just like hits you like a ton of bricks in the chest. And I reflected on that and I said, no. The answer is no. I knew it in my heart and my gut the moment he asked the question. And I realized that until I started making decisions based on that identity, like I would never have that result or that outcome. So I started waking up and asking myself, what would I do today if I had $5 million in the bank? And we shut down the current incarnation of our business at that time, which is a big decision. We made this move into this beautiful home here in Boulder, which was a big, expansive step up. We hired a personal chef. I started making decisions as my future self. And it took some time for my identity to stabilize and catch up. But this is what happened when the business really started expanding and growing, because I expanded my internal capacity. I started showing up being something different on the inside, and then the external reality started mirroring itself to match. All business growth starts from the inside out. It's walking and being first, which is the hardest thing to do, right? Because we wait for the outside to change before we do this. That's what 95% of people do on the planet, which is why they keep recreating their same reality, right? It's like Groundhog Day, you wake up, it's like the same thing again and again and again. When you have the courage to claim an internal identity and start making decisions from that expanded internal identity first, that is when you will create the growth on the outside as a result. So making this super practical, just ask yourself, what do I want to create in my business? Maybe I'm wanting to create my first 7-figure year. Awesome. So waking up today and asking yourself, and this is a question you can live in as a practice, what would I do today if I was already making 7 figures? What kinds of offers would I sell? What would my prices be? How would I show up in my marketing? How would I lead this sales call that I'm about to get on as a 7-figure entrepreneur? When you have the courage to claim this internal identity first, be, do, have, your life, your reality, your business will expand as a result.